Good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Que-stead-Que. What you gonna do? I don't know, but something's gonna grow. Well, hello, you guys, and welcome to another episode of Que-stead-Que. I won't be on here long. Well, today was the big day for the Grow Club volunteers to come, but Emily contacted me earlier, and we ended up postponing it until next Tuesday because the notice came that we may get severe weather on today. It is very hot. It's about 90 degrees outside, y'all. It is very hot today. I told y'all we went from winter straight to summer. Anyway, so I told her that was fine. And she was like, but we could still come get the soil out your car. I was like, no, we're going to leave it there. No sense working harder. We may as well work smarter. And so I told her that extra week will give me time to get my plants hardened off, because I want to start that process on possibly tomorrow if I don't go fishing, because it's crappie season at Lake 16. So I want to hit that to at least get a few of those to stock up. But anyway, so if I don't go fishing tomorrow, what I'll do is I will start hardening them off on Thursday, and then finish up by the weekend, and then have the plants out there in the greenhouse. So she had me to make a list. We had already decided what would be done, but she wanted me to just write it down, and so I couldn't think of anything else. So what I wrote down for us to do is first unload the soil, and then we'll put 4 at that table that I'm going to refill. Put up the shade cloth. They're going to collapse and fill the groundhog hole, and I have set a trap out there. He doubled that hole, y'all. He figured out this new groundhog that I gave the video of. He's so big that he was strong enough to get those bricks. You know, he knocked some of those bricks off the thing, but he still couldn't quite get through. But he knocked them off enough to start a new spot where he could grasp. And so he tunneled up a few more feet, and now the hole is almost double the size. So what I did yesterday, I got some food scraps, put them in that trap, and I set the trap right by the hole. So he hasn't appeared today, because he hasn't even disturbed the dirt or anything. I set that trap right there at the entrance or the exit of his hole. And so he's going to see that food in there, and then he's going to come out of that hole and get himself trapped. And to the upper room he goes. Okay, the second thing, we're going to spread. And so that extra week is going to give me a chance to get that groundhog caught. Because otherwise he's going to come up, if I don't get him, he's going to come up with another way of getting out of there, and he's just going to make a more of a mess. So he's got to be eliminated. And it is storming, you guys. So the storms have begun. I hear the wind, rain is going everywhere, and I'm so glad for the rain, because I haven't gotten the water hose yet. I'll get to that in a minute. We're going to bag up all that trash I got back there. And so today was going to be the day for that. But then my neighbor who takes out my garbage, he took all that cardboard that I had and filled up the garbage can with it. So now I can't do anything. And I hope it stops raining later so I can at least get that to the curb. Okay, then we're going to stack the crates inside the greenhouse. And I want them to start my lawnmower. Although I'm not going to be cutting grass, I want to at least know that it starts and get the gas in it, because there may be a time where, you know, someone might need to come and edge it up, or I might need to cut something down or something, you know, real quick. So I at least want to know it started. I don't want it to go a whole season without being started, and then it'll never start again. Then rake the leaves out the flower beds in the back. And then we're going to set up my bench pillows and umbrellas for the summer. So that's what I have on my list. So there may be more things to do during that time span. We shall see. Okay, so yesterday I went to Menards and I did do a video, so I'll upload that later. There's a little music in it, so hopefully they won't get me and give me a copyright strike, and so I'll have to take it down, but I am gonna attempt posting that video. Anyway, I went to Menards on yesterday, and I went because I wanted to get some chicken food. They normally sell the small bags, but they don't sell those anymore. It comes in this big 9 cubic foot bag, and it's only it only costs $9.99. I didn't get it yesterday, but I'm going back Friday to get it. That's enough. It's in such a big bag. Think of the size of the black cow bag. That's enough to where my little bag of chicken manure that I had that they no longer make, I can save that bag once it runs out and just refill that bag from the big bag, and then I can store that big bag in some type of container. That's going to last me for years, so I'll probably end up putting that chicken manure in the shed, you know, or I can leave it in the greenhouse too. It doesn't matter. But anyway, I'm going to go on and buy it since it's only $9. The other thing I need to get, I'm going to go on and get some onions. The Millennial Gardener did a video yesterday. He did that same experiment that we did this year with the bunching onions for the Irish way. He lives in North Carolina, Zone 8. And he decided, instead of planting the bunching onions that grow year-round in his zone, he said, I wanted more harvest from my sweet onions. We're getting ready to get a rainbow, y'all, because the sun is out and this rain is pouring down. Ooh, and I'm going to be ready to film it, too, once it comes. But anyway, he decided, instead of planting the bunching onions in September like he normally does, he decided to he saved some onion bulbs, and then he started he planted them in July indoors. He said he put them like in a seed starting tray, the small bulbs of the Vidalia sweet. And so he did that in July. And then he just let them grow indoors, you know, and the plant come up during the rest of the summer. And then he put them out he put his out in November, I believe he said, right before it got cold there in North Carolina. Now, in my case, I will put mine out in September, right with the garlic at the end of September. That's how he did it. He planted his with his garlic. So pull up the Millennial Gardener and his video from yesterday. You'll see exactly what he did. Proof is in the pudding. He said they had the worst weather, the worst winter ever in North Carolina. They got frost, snow, all that. He said it was the worst winter since he's been there. And he said that they survived. They came up this spring. He said in February for him, he said they came up those shoots along with the garlic, and now it's bulbing. So he said he will get 2 harvests this year of onions because of course he planted them out in February also, and so he'll get a harvest from that. So anyway, I was like, the Irish way, that's what he did. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm going back because I picked them up yesterday, but instead I decided to get 2 bags of potatoes. They had potatoes there, rhubarb, asparagus. They had all kind of stuff there. But I decided to get 2 more bags of potatoes. First of all, I got a 5-pound bag of russet potatoes. The potatoes were $6.99 a bag. I had no idea that many potatoes came in the bag, 30 potatoes. In fact, I'm giving some, I posted on my Facebook page, and if no one comes through to get those potatoes locally, I'm giving them to people from the Grow Club because I had too many. I bought a bag of russet because, you know, in my gardener, those Burbank russet, I only got 4 potatoes for late season, and that's okay. But I said, let me add to it because since my strawberries died, I said I could put them in that tub. And then it was so many, I ended up putting some in the next tub, that other blue tub in there where the cold crops were. And then I got the soil amended real well, got the muriate of potash, all that in these tubs, and they're big enough to where they should produce some potatoes. Then I ended up buying a bag of early potatoes too, because, you know, I couldn't find the rest by the window, so I know that's going to be a failure. And then I put 11 out there in the on the side of the house in the ground. I was like, I need more. Once again, didn't know I was going to end up with 30 potatoes. But that big giant container where I had that saffron that died on me, that's where I planted those. So I was able to get 9 potatoes in there, 6 inches apart. And I went 2 layers with that. I put some at the bottom and then some in the middle. And then I got some more of my soil that I had loose, and I covered that up, and I amended that soil also. So I've got that, the 2 containers, so that's 3 containers in the greenhouse. I've got the side of the house, which is 4 areas, and then I've got that big container in the front of the house. So that's 5. And then in front of the window, if you want to count that, here comes the rainbow, y'all. So I'm going to have to cut this short. I've got 6 of potatoes. So therefore, that's enough for me. And I've got like over 20 potatoes left between the 2. I ended up with 10 from the russet, and then I ended up with like another 9 or 10 from the, what they call the, I forgot the name of the white potato. It's either going to be a Kennebec or it says just chip on the thing. And these were some big potatoes in this bag too. I'm surprised they gave that many for that amount of money. So I'm going back on Friday to get the chicken poo, and I'm going back on Friday to get the onions at Menards, and it was something else. Oh, I'm gonna be going to get, although that soil is still in the car, there's still room. There's room in the trunk to get at least 2 bags of the black cow in the trunk. So I'm gonna get that. Then that way I have my black cow for the year, and the compost, for that. And then that'll be it. Then, oh, and the water hose. Oh Lord, I forgot the water hose last week. And so I didn't get one. So I'm gonna get a nice one. They had the real good ones. The highest priced one at Menards was $79. And then they had one that's like a flatter hose, like a fireman's hose. That one was like $69, but it was very good quality. It was the super heavy duty strength. And so the 150 yard one was like $69. I think I'm gonna go with that flat one because it'll be easier for me to handle and roll up, because I'm gonna have to keep my grass clear because of OSHA coming. So anyway, I'm going to do that, and we'll see what happens. So anyway, I'm going to get off of here. I'm cutting this short, y'all, because the sun came out. It's shining bright. The storm had just stopped. So we should get a rainbow. So I want to see it and film it. So I will talk to you guys later. And may God bless you all. So I done caught you up for the day. So I'm going to be here resting, dealing with this vertigo again. So back to the peel and being loopy. So I'm working on my crocheting. So that's it for today. I'm going to be in all day since the Grow Club isn't coming. Tomorrow, I'll be right back out. If I'm not fishing tomorrow, I will be in that greenhouse and getting those plants hardened off. Talk to you guys later, and may God bless you all. Bye-bye.